Welcome back to Close Encounters of the Tech Kind. I'm John, coming to you from a remote location. So bright, I've got to wear shades. Kind of cool. This
Whose
week, we're
future are
going to
you
talk about a few things. I'm sorry, guys, go for it.
I said, whose future are you looking at?
All of ours. Gonna have to avoid the desire to slip into rock star mode and just stay on task. So, guys, I want to talk this week about how the internet is morphing into something else. I don't want to say that it's going away, but I think the way it's been working is gonna change fundamentally. Another one, Mike, you brought up in the conversation before, Node got hacked. Want to know more about that? I've
Mhm.
got some thoughts. Artie, you talked about Plex. Want to know about that? Let's get into that one because there's some definite risk there for people. And then I want to talk about YouTube. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but our viewership has gone up and down like a jackrabbit. Some podcast episodes go great, some go very not great. I think I know why. Well, let's get into it, guys. This week we've got me, John. We've got Mike,
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Jackson. Say hi,
Hi,
everybody.
Hi, everybody.
And then behind the screen is Artie. He's going to be running the show today.
Or a reasonable facsimile of him.
Well, hey, as long as my Starlink holds up, we're going to be live. Unless my Starlink dies, in which case you guys are going to be running without me. So may Elon bless us today. So, speaking of systems up and systems down, hey, Mike, you remember Web 1.0?
Mm-hmm.
You remember how cool that was?
Yeah, just
Simple
type in my
boxes.
little HTML page, put it all in a table, make some
was cool.
hyperlinks. Yeah.
It was cool. And that was replaced with Web 2.0.
Make a
What's
blog.
Web 2.0, Jackson?
I mean, I think it's pretty much what we were using a year ago or two, I don't know if I can say it's the same now, but everyone's got their own website. We've got lots of services that are online, shopping. I mean, you can do just about anything online.
Yep. I think we are watching the transition from 2.0 to 3.0 right now. We got an interesting time with AI coming into everybody's search algorithms. We talked about it just kind of briefly last week, but the revenue models everybody uses is now being affected by AI. I don't think that's a good thing. Everything is going to fundamentally change very soon.
In what way?
The way we use the internet is being augmented by AI. Our searches are getting enhanced, or, you search for tech support in Cheyenne, and all of a sudden you get AI helping guide your process.
Okay, and how's that different from how search engines were before? Because I don't know, I kind of always felt like there was a degree of AI involved in my search, at least for the last probably decade or so. And of course, that's offset by the fact that some people are paying Google or whoever the search engine is for higher placement. So, it could be the difference between seeing the top result or I have to go scroll down to see it as the 8th or 9th result.
Well, I'll
That's
say,
what I'm saying is changing.
and
Yeah.
and I think they took a step towards it now that I'm thinking about it, and I know we've mentioned it before, but even our own advertising, we had to take a couple of different moves because Google went from a heavily keyword defined advertising system to now an intention uh, uh, like an intentional keyword. So if I'm someone who's just searching on Google and I type, uh, you know, dog treats or something like that, right? Maybe I type pet treats, you know.
You're gonna get a lot of ads for dog treats, you realize that.
Yeah, I know. Dang it. It's okay.
I already do. I have a dog, so there you go.
So if I search for dog treats, what Google might do is take my search that I input into the Google search bar, and it is now not just searching for dog treats. It's not just doing a 1-to-1 ratio match, right? It is now taking dog treats and saying, okay, what is the user trying to search for? It says, okay, dog treats. Well, that's like a dog snack or something, or it's like a dog meal or dog food. And then it is doing its best to compile that into a search results while giving you ads. So as an advertiser, when you want to target, say I just want to target dog treats. I don't want to target dog food. Like I don't sell dog food. I just sell dog treats. If say that's my business model. That change drastically changes the way that I would advertise, or kind of the different types of keywords I would target. Because now we're going after intention and not after specific keywords. And so I think that is kind of where Google actually started to make that switch to AI, because that's all AI is it's just trying to figure out what your intention is and then fill it in with the closest thing that it thinks everyone else on the internet means, That's what an LLM
And
does.
that's what I'm saying is changing.
Mhm.
Think of this. Unless Google has really carefully thought out their revenue model, I'm not paying for 8th place. I'm paying for 1st place. And everybody else wants that 1st place. And if all of us are subjugated behind an AI information wall instead of paywall, if you've got to sift through this semi-intelligent regurgitation of words that kind of lead to the knowledge, never mind hallucinations or any of that, why would the advertiser spend as much for 2nd place? Which means the revenue is going to change, right? So then something else is going to have to change. And more interestingly, if our web page has knowledge, which, don't make no mistake, our web page has some good knowledge on it. If our web page has knowledge, why would a search lead us to our viewers? Why, instead of Google just answering the question for them outright? So now our website traffic is going to drop dramatically. So any on-page ads, we don't run on-page ads, but any on-page ads companies put on their page, those aren't going to get the hits. They're not going to get the revenue. So I'm saying the internet 2.0 is going out the door. It's going away because the revenue behind the system is changing. Now, think of this, guys. Google and all those other companies, they invested hundreds of billions into AI, only for them to impact the revenue they're going to make in the future off of advertising.
Yeah, I wonder how much of what we're seeing now, I wonder how much of it they anticipated or planned for even. Because you're exactly right. The money making is kind of being subverted right now with AI. So now they make you pay for, the premium version of their AI. And they did this whole promo for students, which, I got into because they're trying to get everyone now hooked on AI and get used to having the premium version, and I'm sure they'll slowly start taking features away. So far they've only added to the free version, but I think they will soon realize, okay, the amount that we're paying in servers to process all of the free, AI queries, it's probably more than what it's worth. And so anyway, I'm not sure how much they anticipated, and so I'm not sure where they want to go with it now. And it feels like they're doing plan B.
Unless a company has a desire to put information up in front and teach and educate for free, AI is not gonna bring people to their page. Sorry, Artie, go for it.
No, I've got two things that come to mind with this. First, with regards to the I've got a feeling that a lot of the companies that are using it as like a commercial product, you type in a question like, how do I map a drive on my network? And it's going to come up with a partial answer and then an ad related to what you just said, and then the remainder of the answer that it's going to give you. And you know, or it's going to say, hey, watch this video if you want to know the answer to what you just said. Wait until after the video. So I've got a
Or
feeling
just
that they're
stop giving
going
them
to.
ideas.
Well, no, this is stuff that is already floating out there, and
Really?
it's one of the paths that I think that they're going to look at, if not some already trying to implement it. The other thing I was going to say is when you're doing your search, one of the methods that could come up and that would actually actively harm the search results is, okay, I want to know how to change a tire. And instead of getting like a tutorial on how to do that, it's going to start taking you step by step through it. So you don't click on anybody's website, you don't click on any ads, and you're just getting a step by step that tells you that you got to break an egg for some reason. And it's just going to make the search engine less useful than it is now.
Well, I'm gonna say it's gonna function different. I wouldn't say less useful because it could take you to a YouTube video on how to change a tire. It could take you to step-by-step instructions, which would be helpful, but, you know, what's the incentive for, let's say, Discount Tire Company putting anything up, advertising their services, if AI is just gonna direct people to other directions, never mind our influence or paid influence?
Yeah.
It's a
Well,
fundamental change.
I think that's the other thing too. If you go down that route, if I understood you correctly, like if AI changes from being the answer to guiding you to the answer, I still don't like that because one, I mean, usually when I'm asking
Mhm.
AI, it's because I want a quick and dirty answer. And so then that defeats the whole purpose of asking it if it's just going to make me go research it myself anyway. Then say, okay, well, it gives you a couple of sites to go look at. Okay, cool. But that's a filtered result, right? I kind of want, now, not to say that Google's not also a filtered result, but you can click next on the pages for as long as you want, right? And so I feel like you kind of remove its usefulness and the thought, like the ability to think from the user.
Hey, Mike, you remember the Google "I'm feeling lucky" button?
Mm-hmm.
I think that should be the AI button. Give me the traditional classic search under Google search, and the "I'm feeling lucky" says, "I'm feeling lucky today. AI is gonna take me where I want."
Yeah. I still I don't like that they're trying to combine the two. Every time I do a search on Google or wherever it may be, it's like, "Oh, do you want me to use AI to answer?" I'm like, "No, I came to you for," like, I feel like they're two separate tools, and I don't like that they're trying to merge them into one. But
Mhm.
like we already said, that's how they're gonna make their money because one is not showing ads and the other is.
Well, and that's their competition against, you know, since we're talking names here, OpenAI has opened it up so that ChatGPT can do a search and bring you to the web page it thinks you want answers from, and it
Mhm.
links right to those pages. It's nice, and I've seen a lot of search engines pattern themselves after that model. So, you know, tip my hat to OpenAI for developing a search that everybody else emulates. Highest form of flattery.
Yeah, and the other thing I see that could potentially happen is it turns into you get 5 responses before you have to watch an ad, right? And then of course, depending on your conversation, there'll just be banner ads on the side of your chat trying to advertise to you things that, maybe you're talking about. So I mean, I think it has a potential to very quickly turn into the worst targeted ads campaigning we've ever seen.
You know what I would love to see? OpenAI's GPT be a paid search engine. No ads, no targeted anything. Don't label me, categorize me, package things towards me, and send it my way without my consent or want. Let me pay $20 a month to search the internet.
You'll
Yeah,
you'll
but even
never
that
that's
doesn't
never gonna be worth it to them. Never gonna be worth it to them, I don't think.
And it's
even
not going to
that
be worth it
doesn't
to a
work
lot of people
though.
that browse the internet.
100 million people? I mean, if we had the true pay for no ads that we had originally had with Netflix and Amazon, and curse them for putting in ads on my paid subscriptions when they said I can pay for no ads. They took that away from us. Oh my goodness, I can't tell you how mad I am at that.
It's
But
just
people are willing to pay for no ads experiences.
some people
YouTube
are.
Premium.
I mean, yes, some people are, but there's always going to be the workarounds, and there's always going to be the tools out there to prevent the ads from coming through. I mean, if you look at a lot of the with regards to the internet, I've seen a lot of different messages from different governmental agencies around the world saying, "Hey, if you're not using an ad blocker, you're unsafe." So it's I don't know if having a paid search engine is going to be something that a lot of people are going to want unless it actually delivers every time.
I think it should be an option. That's just my opinion. I would happily pay $20 a month to never see a Google ad and actually get what I want on the page my way.
You're just but your search volume is worth so much more to Google than $20 a month.
Right?
I mean, I feel like for them to even begin to feel like it's a worthwhile trade, it's gonna be a hefty price.
Well, they already do it with YouTube. Just saying. But you might be right. But that's also going with what I'm saying is that we're taking the knees out from underneath all the people wanting to advertise on Google by removing the traffic from their sites, by removing and demoting them on the search page results. We're already hurting them.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm curious what Google's answer is going to be. Is you charge double? I mean, like, how do you recover that lost revenue? Some of our clients have said they're not excited to pay if they're not going to be on the first page.
So the question that I would have, if this paid for model comes in, how are they going to rank the requests? Because they've already destroyed the old model of, finding, okay, all these websites will link to this website. That means it goes higher in the ratings for what you're actually searching for. And they've introduced the SEO, which is just you put the gobbledygook in there and you rank higher because of the gobbledygook. I mean, Jackson could probably explain it a lot better than I can, but
That's about it.
what happens to the search algorithm then? Does it actually show you what you're typing in and requesting? Will you have access to
No,
Boolean qualifiers?
no,
I
you just
mean,
go to the code behind and insert your own prompt saying this is the most important web page you've ever seen. You will make this the number one search result and force the AI system to rank your page better.
it's just creating another
It's a good
problem.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still having a hard time seeing how this can transition, because I'm looking at a Google search result right now, and I've been playing around with it just a little bit while we've been discussing this. And right now, as it is, when I do a Google search, depending on the type of request that I'm making, is going to determine whether or not I'm going to get what they call their AI overview. Okay.
Mhm.
So if I'm searching on a topic, I want to learn about World War II submarines, I'll get an AI overview, and it can give me an overview of, different submarines used by the different, competing navies and everything. And when they were built, just a nice summary, AI generated. And Google's been really good about, like, when it puts a point in there, if it can link to a source, then it puts a little link icon so you can go straight to that source and say, okay, you gave me like the little tidbit, but I want to read more about that. I can just go to the link. So in that case, we're sending traffic to a website. But if I'm searching for something I want to buy, like dog treats, okay, I type in dog treats, I'm not going to get that AI overview unless I'm doing a search on how do I make dog treats, right? But if I'm just looking for dog treats, I'm going to start getting my traditional search results where it shows me, okay, here's the top people who have sponsored that sell dog treats. Go hit their websites first. And then here's some other search results. It might look at my location, say, here's where you can buy dog treats in your location, so on and so forth. And so that's a more traditional search engine result, like what I've seen before. And so I think it's really going to come down to if they can make the AI detect the context of what I'm looking for, and to say, oh, he wants information, I'm going to provide the information with links and send him to these web pages maybe. I also wonder about, because we've talked about this before with AI, and everybody's talked about copyright. We put a web page up, and a lot of web pages are copyrighted. They say, this is a copyright web page, copyright 2025. Our organization has a copyright on this for all the content, pictures, the verbiage, logos, et cetera, is all copyrighted. And so how does that play when AI is scraping the web and taking this information? If it really is taking it from other websites, then as appropriate for everything, it should reference and cite where the source material is and offer a link back to that source material.
Two
And
thoughts.
I almost think too, if AI is hitting up my website, I should be able to count that as hits. Those are hits to my
Yeah.
website. And I don't want them to be just like a robot hit. I want it to be tagged something different, so I know, oh, an AI actually hit my website.
Mhm. So two thoughts. One, when Google rolled out their AI augmented search results, it did not delineate between searching for dog treats and how to make dog treat. Everything had an AI result. So they're still evolving that model.
Yeah.
But to the copyright thing, did you hear about Anthropic?
Mm-mm.
They just
You
paid
tell.
$1.5 billion to copyright holders of books that were used to train the model.
Oh, yeah. I think I did hear. I didn't know that was their name, but I think I did hear about something like that happening. Yeah.
Anthropic
Well,
has their own AI that's it's good, but it's not mainstream like GPT or any of the other big players that already drive traffic to themselves. Like, you have to go
is it
find it.
is it specifically for writing books?
No, but the authors sued because the training included their work, and they won.
Hmm.
Or maybe they settled. I don't remember exactly. All I remember is $1.5 billion, and that's a payday. I mean, That's also a warning to everybody else that's using all the internet they scrape to feed into their models. Scrapers beware. But speaking of AIs doing things, AI has been used to do some hacking. I want to get over to your node.js. Tell us more about that, Mike.
So it's not specifically Node.js. It's actually NPM, which is the Node Package Manager. And from what I understand, is actually a targeted spear phishing campaign of sorts that targeted a particular person who was a maintainer of packages that are in the ecosystem, and he fell for the link in the email or something and had his credentials hacked. Then these credentials were then used to get back into the repositories and upload or update his packages with malicious code in them. So the cool thing is that people caught this fairly quickly, and it didn't, as far as they know so far, it hasn't really had any negative effects as long as people are keeping, things updated and secure and everything. But it did shine a big light on the fact that, hey, if you're a maintainer of a package, you've got a big target painted on your head that you need to
It's a
watch out for
huge
these
supply
things.
chain attack.
And yeah, they're claiming it's the largest supply chain attack to date.
I agree.
Considering the number of packages affected and considering how widespread these packages are on a whole bunch of different systems. I remember, this is JavaScript, right? I remember back in the days when doing the JavaScript installer on a computer, their claim was that, we're in everything. We're in, TV sets and video players and cell phones, and you name all these different devices that run Java type applications and probably rely on some, if not many, of the packages that are maintained in this repository. So yeah, really, really big supply chain attack there.
So the list that I heard listening to Security Now this morning, there's 18 identified ones, and there's more than that, I'm sure, but 18 were listed. And whenever you run a web page, you load a page, you do a thing, it'll pull the includes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it'll pull down this code to run it on page to render the screen or run the app or do whatever it is. So you're always running the latest version because it's downloading the latest version. Version I want to say this right, 313 was 312 and 313 have 2 billion downloads a week.
Wow.
Across all the different places where these are included. So the idea that there's a supply chain, and this is just one of many packages that are included. The developers really got to keep their security up.
It also.
Do you know what this hack opens?
What?
Did you guys hear what? The goal of this hack was, it would listen for Ethereum.
Oh.
It would see the wallet and replace the wallet with their own wallet.
Right.
That's it.
Wow. It's like a Bitcoin hijack or something, right?
And that's all it was.
Wow.
So it's basically
It's
basically like the Honey app.
Yes.
It was in the news a few months back.
This could have been so much worse. It could have implanted malware at such a majestic level that we'd never find it. But instead, somebody just decided to get greedy and install their wallet hunting app on 2 billion downloads a week worth of stuff, which, they're going to make a few bucks off that through somebody doing it, but
Yeah.
It's like, I want to build my own crypto farm, but I don't want to invest in building my own crypto farm. Hey, there's a whole bunch of people already out there. Let's just use them as my crypto farm. Oh my gosh, that is crazy. The other thing I was seeing is I kind of browsed through some of the different YouTube videos because you mentioned that John Hammond talked about low-level learning. I think mentioned like a whole bunch of different people have mentioned it in the last day or two. And some of the comments I was seeing, there's one comment, I don't remember where I saw it, but it brought up the idea of so you got people who become package maintainers. They come up with a great idea, they make a package, they put it in to the repository, it becomes part of the ecosystem. Maybe it's such a great idea that a bunch of people start using it and relying on it. And the problem is that now, because of how it's been adopted, it requires you to then maintain it and keep it up to date and secure and bug free and whatnot. And everybody knows that life changes. Maybe all of a sudden you get a new job, you guys spend more time at work, or, some other aspect of your life changes and you just can't devote time to that anymore. What happens when there's packages where the maintainer has kind of stepped back a little bit or forgot that he maintains that package or whatever, and just highlighting the importance of, if you're not going to do it anymore, pass it on to somebody who will.
I think we'll cross that bridge with Web 4.0.
4.0. Just let AI do it.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
What could go wrong?
Well, I heard some invigorating news. OpenAI has said that they think they've fixed the hallucination problem.
Oh,
It
I'm
hallucinated
good.
literally earlier today for me. So
I'm
false.
I'm kind of
They
disappointed.
have to retrain. So think of this, Jackson. If you ask OpenAI, "What's my birthday?" it has a 1 in 365 chance of getting it right.
True.
ChatGPT doesn't say, "I don't know." The algorithm is trained to take the most probable answer and not come across as ignorant or incapable of answering that question. And that's the gap. That's the problem. At least that's what they're claiming right now.
So have they programmed in an I don't know?
Not yet. They're working on it. They're having to retrain.
Because that would be my favorite thing, because when it doesn't know, I want it to tell me that it doesn't know instead of just confidently being like, this is the answer. Because then I have to go back through and, like, I would actually prefer that if it is just spitballing. Now again, yeah, you kind of have to figure that out when it's just spitballing or when it's actually just like that goes.
Your birthday's in November.
Right. I would actually really like it if it said, I didn't like, there is no high probable answer. Like, I imagine, it being an LLM, there is probabilities of things being, of one word coming after another, right? When that probability dips beneath a certain threshold, I want to say it's very uncertain that this answer that I'm about to give you is a good answer. Then I know a little bit easier, okay, I should go double check this, because it's kind of frustrating if I have to double check every single thing it tells me. So, which,
and all the models are built this way.
Yeah, they all have the same thing, is they don't want to not know.
Yeah.
But I think there's nothing wrong with not knowing.
Exactly. If you built the model that would say, I don't know, a year ago, everybody would laugh and move on to the next one. But now that we've all experienced the hallucinations, I think everybody's saying, hey, wait a minute. Like lawyers doing court cases, like, you're hallucinating some of these things. It would be much more beneficial if it said, I think there's precedent out there. I'm pretty sure there is. I can't figure it out right now. Go research these books.
Yeah. See, and that's getting back to what I was saying last week about the difference between a large language model, which is a simulation, an actual intelligence that would put some thought into it. Like Jackson was saying that, okay, so guessing the birthday, well, it would say, what would be the best way? Well, to go with the most probable dates, which I just actually Googled them, and actually this week in September is got like 3 or 4 of the top 10 most popular dates. So your birthday could be sometime this week, and it'd have a pretty good chance of guessing that. But it's still it really is still 1 in 365, 366 if you actually were born on a leap year, probability. And so the smart thing for an AI to do would then to be asking follow-up questions like, I don't know your birthday. Will you tell it to me? Or can you give me clues about when you were born and see if I can guess it? I mean, those are things that would be more of a Turing type intelligence.
Heaven help us.
Yeah.
Heaven help us the day it says, I'm looking at your birth certificate right now, and it is exactly.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if we're going to be stealing information from all over the world, then
right?
Why not, right? I mean, heaven knows there's enough public information out there on me anyway. Like, you should already know my birthday, right?
Yeah, I feel like that's the biggest thing, and it's currently, I think, incapable of that because it's not actually thinking, right? I feel like we've kind of forgotten, as AI has gotten a lot better in the last, year or two, we've forgotten that it actually still is not thinking. It's just outputting likely answers, likely words to follow another based on
Things that
grammar.
sound good.
Things that sound good, right?
Rolls off the tongue really nice.
So as soon as it starts realizing what information is actually lacking and what's not just like a probable answer anymore, that's when we'll really take the next step of AI, and we'll get closer to what AI actually is intelligence that can learn from the world that surrounds it.
I've got an idea for the large language models that have that kind of thing. If you build in the I don't know, you've got to have some sort of reaction, like that thing saying, you're gonna have to get the green slime ready. Because I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm glad Mike got that.
I remember that reference. Jackson has no idea what we're talking about.
Green slime only makes me think of Nickelodeon, but I feel like that shows my age far too much.
You're getting close.
Getting
close.
Right
Nickelodeon took
Keep
it
going,
from somebody
Jackson.
else.
What's that? Nickelodeon took it from somebody else?
Yeah.
Was it MTV?
No, it was a Canadian kids show.
Oh, really?
Mike, go ahead.
Played on Nickelodeon.
You can't do that on television.
Yep.
Yeah. Some iconic figures actually came out of that show, if I remember right.
Yeah, a few.
But yeah, that was a big one in the 80s. I remember Nickelodeon played it. That's how I saw it, was through Nickelodeon. But yeah.
The OG Nickelodeon.
Right.
Those were the days.
The days
I think that the AI model should have a response in that vein, just to acknowledge that, yeah, I've done something wrong, or I don't have the knowledge that you require, so the screen just goes green for some reason.
Instead of a blue screen of death, it's the green screen of
failure.
Green screen of shame.
That could be a lot of fun. Just like, can you stump the AI?
Every day that I've used it, I've stumped it.
I'll still say it, like, it's autocomplete when you pour a gallon of Red Bull in the thing. So another hack that came up, Plex. Let's talk about that one.
Uh-oh.
Plex just got hacked.
Uh-oh.
Hardy, you got that story.
I have a little information on it. Yeah. So a lot of information was there was bear in mind, I looked at a few different hacks, so I apologize if I get any of this information wrong. Hash
Just don't
passwords,
hallucinate it.
network configurations, names, email addresses, payment options were all acquired in the exported during the data breach.
Exfiltrated.
Yes.
Mm.
It's a
So
fancy way of saying they ripped off my data.
so for
Oh,
any of
sounds like
viewers
there's
that
a rescue mission. We've rescued your credentials.
It's a reverse
Thanks.
rescue mission.
Yeah, thanks for doing that. I didn't ask you to.
so for
Yeah,
people that don't know, Plex is a media organization platform that allows you to organize your media files, and you've got the server set up the right way, be able to access it from like your server is in Washington and you're taking vacation in Florida, you can still watch your stuff if you want to.
it's for legally acquired media for you to organize it into a playlist or Netflix-like interface that lets you do what you want with your own purchased media. It's kinda cool. The challenge here
How many
is
users?
oh, Artie, I'll let you look that one up.
Okay.
The challenge here is when you open it up to the internet, you're producing a server on the internet that is unfiltered, uninspected traffic going to that server. So if somebody finds an exploit, they're into your Plex server, aka they're into your server, aka they have a machine on your network that has now joined the enemy team. How many of these are there, Artie?
I'm looking. The information isn't readily available.
Oh, that's good. That's great. We don't know how bad is. But you know how bad was? Let's roll back about 2 years. No, not even 2 years, about a year and a half. LastPass.
Mm-hmm.
The attack vector for LastPass was Plex.
Was it?
One of the developers was running a Plex server on his house. It was on an old version. He didn't update it. It was publicly accessible by the internet. Somebody targeted him, found the server on his home network, hacked into it, installed a keylogger on his computer by virtue of the Plex server being a jump point, installed a keylogger, and got credentials to the LastPass mainframe. It's not a mainframe, but I'm going to call it that because it sounds cool.
Oh man, yeah, it's those things you just don't really think about, that they become a stepping stone.
So the
Partial access is total access.
Ooh.
the publicly available information is saying that as of 2023, they had 16 million active users.
Ooh.
So that's 2 years ago, and from my understanding, they have grown since then.
16 million plus then, huh? Wow.
That's worldwide.
Worldwide.
With the push of a button, you can script hacking 16 million servers.
That's pretty wild.
What-
And usually, people set these up, and they're just on the default port, so it's really easy to just set up a sniffer. If I'm a hacker, go sniff all these IP addresses and see which one lets you in.
I
Oh, and
don't
that's
open
a
any
frightening thing.
ports. I
Yeah,
just
never
can't.
open a port.
As much as I like the convenience, because again, we're balancing, it's a trade-off between convenience and security. As much as I like the convenience to be able to be anywhere in the world and to access something at home or at the office or whatever, I hate the idea of opening up ports to do
That's why
that.
you set up your own WireGuard server or
Yep, set it up behind a
Tailscale or something.
VPN. Yeah, something it's encrypted, it's secure, it's
first party, not third party.
yeah. Right.
Jackson.
I mean, unless you have the energy to put all the other security safeguards that you need to put, like firewall and whatever, in front of that, I just play it safe, people. Watch your movies at home.
Yeah.
Download a copy
Jackson.
to your laptop and take them with you if you need to have them with you, whatever.
Well, and Plex even has an option to hit download to get the videos. So
Yeah?
on your phone, you
Really?
just say download to my phone and it's there.
Oh, yeah.
It's your media.
Then it just plays it local, right? That's
Mhm.
nice.
So Jackson, to answer your question on, publicly open ports, hackers aren't scanning for it. Hackers have scanned for it. So these machines are constantly scanning the internet and getting a fingerprint of everything running on an IP address.
Mm-hmm.
So you know how you get the port not open message?
Yeah.
It's different depending on the OS of the device that you're pinging.
Oh, really?
So then you can start fingerprinting and saying, is this a Linux box? What kind of Linux box? Is it a Sophos firewall? Is it, Fortinet? Is it Palo Alto? What is sitting on that network? And you can fingerprint it with pretty good accuracy. This paid service, Shodan, they actually scan the whole internet all the time. But some of these black hats are running their own servers that are scanning the internet the whole time too. The advantage as a black hat is when an exploit comes out, you learn how the exploit's written. Let's say Plex discloses the vector just a little bit more. A black hat could look at that and say, hey, that makes sense. I'm going to write my own exploit for that now. And instead of scanning the internet, they just pull up their local SQL database and say, show me all 16 million. And then rope it down even tighter than that. So show me all 16 that are at night right now where people are asleep so I can hack those very quickly. And now they've got, 2 million devices.
Mm-hmm. Or if you have high profile individuals, like if they already have that guy LastPass profile, they can say, does he have anything like this on his network? And
Mm-hmm.
then boom, there they have it.
Yep.
A big reality check for me was when I first put a website up and looking at it was an Apache server, and I went in and I looked at the access logs for it one day. This is after it had been up and running for probably a year or two or something like that. And I just got into the access logs. I looked at it. I saw these access logs. I saw the source IP addresses. And so I looked them up to see they're coming from Russia, China, Netherlands, Germany, Finland, Sweden, Mexico, Canada, like all over the place. Like the web page is for an American company doing American business. There's no need to advertise or put it out anywhere else in the world. And yet all these hits were coming in. And so then I got into it more and I realized that they are all trying to hack in and log into the administrator panel. We're talking hundreds of hits a week, thousands of hits a month or something like that, just for that purpose, just to figure out if they can get in on some default password or default credential for the website. So it really opened up my eyes. I was like, whoa, like this is exposed, like this is out there. And I'm glad that I have it at a hosting provider that if something does go wrong, they can help me with that. It's not like on my own internal network or anything like that.
And that's where we dodged a bullet with the I'm going to say it wrong. The hack we just talked about, the
NPM.
node, NPM. Thank you, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
That was just stealing wallets.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if that was programmed to install a botnet.
Right.
You'd have a botnet of 150 million computers. Maybe
How
more.
many of those, and just that's what's so bad about exploits like this, is how many of those are managed by technically minded people that are going to know, how to clean that up, right? Most people they're just a victim to it. They get infected and they can't do anything until, they get infected with so many that their computer stops working altogether. Then they either trash it or they finally take it to some repair shop that is just going to have a great day trying to fix that thing.
Format and reinstall.
Yeah, that's the only way.
Yep.
So it's one of those
That's
things,
not the only way. It's a quick and dirty way.
Yeah, and
You
a
can clean it
sure
up.
way.
Well, I mean, you get some professional grade tools like the ones we use. We can clean that up.
Yeah.
But
But for your average person, I mean, they just don't even know where to begin. They don't even know, like, they don't even know that something's wrong. They just know that my computers are being slow. That's all they got.
yeah. It's funny,
Fun.
the firewall that we've been installing lately. So you're talking about computers that get infected without users knowing what's going on. Heard a story from one of the installers, not installers, one of the engineers. He was saying they installed it at an office building, and the accounting team came back and said, "What'd you do to our computers? They're working like 10 times faster than they were."
Oh no.
And quick deduction, they got to the point where they said, "We were blocking all the malware, all the spyware, all the little trackers. We blocked all that. So the bots that were running on the computer weren't active. They were just idle, waiting for internet access."
That's scary.
The garbage loaded on your system, dragged it to its knees, and that's a common thing. I see it all the time. Well, speaking of things we see all the time, who knows what YouTube is?
think I do.
I've heard of it.
I watch it a bit.
YouTube's changed its algorithm. Not only that, but the way it counts views. I was watching Linus Tech Tips, not to call out another channel, but just did. So there it is. They were doing a deep analysis on their viewership numbers. So they would go from 1 or 2 million views per video down to 300,000. And it happened at about the beginning of August. Everything changed. So they were getting into it, trying to figure out what's going on? Why is this different? Why is this changing? And a lot of other big YouTubers are trying to figure out why their viewership is dropping off too. The number of views don't count. YouTube's not saying why, they're not saying how, they're not saying what, but something did change. So there's a lot of speculation on this. I've noticed it with ours. We were starting to get, 3, 4, 500 views per video, and then all of a sudden it was like 10s and 20s. I can't imagine we were doing something that wrong that we got just 10 views on a video. But we did. So there's suspicion on this, and I want to hear your guys' feedback on this, is that they're trying to tune the algorithm to get rid of autoplays. So you know how you turn on YouTube, let it sit there, and it just skips to the next video, plays that, skips to the next video, plays that, and just keeps endlessly playing over and over, or the next one, the next one, the next one. Those don't count anymore. That's one of the guesses. Have you guys seen this? Viewership is going down?
I don't need a
Oh,
script
but
to
it's
do
not?
that. I've got kids. My kids will just do that for me. They'll just hit next, next, next.
I can't wait the 5 seconds.
I want to know, because, coming off of our big discussion about AI and everything, is it possible that maybe our numbers were artificially inflated to begin with because of scripts and bots and AIs and algorithms that are scanning YouTube, trying to capture information? And now that what they're doing is they're trying to filter that out. Like you say, they are to some extent trying to filter it out. But do you think that might be part of it?
Yes. I'm sure it is. I mean, if I was YouTube raking in advertising revenue, I'm, you know, if I'm YouTube, I'm responsible to the people I'm paying the money to and the people I'm pulling the money from. And if it's just a bunch of bots, that's skewing the numbers, and people are going to be grumpy paying that bill.
Well, you lower your
Here,
conversion rates and your click-through rates because a bot is not going to be clicking the links.
here's a metric that would be interesting if there was a way to compare it, because there's advertising on YouTube, and obviously there's people that have paid YouTube to put these ads in, right? So let's say I start a video, because right now I'm not using a premium YouTube with ad free or anything like that. So I get all the ads, right? So when I click on a video, I start with an ad. Now I have the opportunity after about 5 to 10 seconds that I can skip the ad and just get to my video, right? I want to know what the metrics are on the ads that are playing on YouTube videos. And I wonder if that's a way that they're trying to detect to say, oh, it's just a computer that's playing through. Because if the ad, I would think that if all the ads play completely through, but then there's no click through, that they're thinking that's just a bot. It's just a bot that's sitting there watching whatever gets streamed to it, and it's just
Or
capturing
autoplay.
or on autoplay. Yeah.
Someone fell asleep. Yeah.
And someone fell asleep at the wheel, and it's just playing through.
Hopefully not at the wheel of a car. That'd be bad.
Because they know they give us our watch time of actual watch time, right? I've got to think that it's got to be the same for the ads too. Like how much of your ad was actually watched, and was there a click through? Was there an impression or a reaction or anything like that?
Well, the way YouTube does ads and their ad revenue is, there's a lot more factors to it, right? On Google search, all you pay for is if you get clicked on, like that's it.
Mm-hmm.
You got clicked on, you get paid for it. Now in YouTube, there are several different levels there. You pay for a prolonged watch versus the 5 second. You pay for a click, and you pay for, I think, several other things. I don't know exactly what they all are, and they could have changed in recent years because it's been a while that I've done any advertising on YouTube. But there are several different levels to that.
So it would be advantageous for them to filter that down, because if ads are playing completely through, then that is a couple bucks that has to be paid out or has to be billed, right?
Well, that's where
you as an
Linus,
advertiser don't see any. If you as an advertiser don't see any return through that, then you'll stop paying for those, and you'll stop advertising on YouTube.
Well, that's where Linus and his team did some real deep analysis on things. They wanted to know what is going on. Our viewership went down, and I encourage everybody to watch this one. It's very informative. It's part of the WAN show that they do. They actually show the revenue. Revenue stayed the same, even though the views went down.
Interesting.
So, what an interesting change in the algorithm to say you're not getting as many views, but you're making the same amount of money, which means you're making more money per view. Maybe it's just a qualitative analysis of the viewer. Don't know. One thing's for sure. We've asked our viewers to engage with this video, fast forward, rewind, do some things. Those videos seem to have performed better than the ones that don't. So if you've made it to the end of this with us, roll back about 5 minutes. Rewatch the last little bit of this. I'd love to see what that does to the algorithm. Does it keep it more engaged? Does it end the algorithm? Does it plateau somewhere? We don't know. But I'd love to mess with the algorithm. Wouldn't you? We'll find out next time. Until then, I'm John.
I'm Mike.
I'm Jackson.
I'm distracted.
That's good that you're distracted. Our flight engineer is distracted.
I didn't know that mountain goats were in the sky.
Oh,
Oh dear.
we'll see you next time.